Alright, we're back for round 7 of the Legacy Challenge. I'm currently 5-1, so this should be a win-in for top 8. I won the die roll, and I'm on the play, and I think this hand's a keep. It's close. 4 lands is pretty marginal, but I think being able to cast a cantrip and a discard spell is better than the average 6. So this is basically a 6-card hand with an extra land, but one thing about Storm is that extra lands are not actually... they're not just blank cards. They're actually detrimental because of getting Hellbent with Infernal Tutor. But yeah, here I'm going to lead with Ponder. I usually like to lead with Ponder over Thoughtseize, especially here when I know the Ponder is extremely likely to resolve. I don't think most people are going to force a bullet. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. So let's draw the Past in Flames now, because if my opponent does Thoughtseize me, that's the weakest card for them to discard. And then I can Brainstorm into the other two. So that was kind of... Finding a Brainstorm off this Ponder is kind of the perfect thing. Hopefully we're playing against a slower deck where we're able to facilitate that. I'm just going to pass here. This could be Show and Tell, and that would punish me, but I see no reason to cast anything into Stifle or Spell Pierce. Now I'm interested in casting this Thoughtseize. It's bad against Spell Pierce plus Stifle, but it's not even that bad. It still gets 2 counterspells out of their hand for a Thoughtseize and a land. They do have a Stifle. Okay, so they're going to wasteland me. That's fine. Let's take the Stifle. I'm actually going to Brainstorm now while I know it's going to resolve. They might daze me and make it so I can't pay, which is fine, whatever. I already basically have a kill in hand, so if they're going to use their daze like that, I don't really care. Alright, Tendrils seems good, so... we want to shuffle away one of these cards. Maybe we don't actually need the Tendrils. Maybe we're supposed to just shuffle away a land and the Tendrils. And then I'll go ahead and fetch a Swamp now. I imagine my opponent's going to spend their turn to run in 6 plus wasteland me. I think we're playing against Silver, by the way. I mean, could be a few other decks, but they're not going to do that. They're going to leave up another spell. Interesting. Okay, here... I think I like Infernal Tutor Reveal Cabal Ritual. I think the Ponder is going to be just as good next turn, and I'd rather make the more mana-intensive play this turn. And this sets us up to pretty likely win the game on the next turn. Now they're going to Lightning Bolt us, because they could be confirmed that their Lightning Bolt will not likely have another target, so might as well use your mana now. Our opponent kept a hand, I think, that is pretty good against creature decks, with round 6 Lightning Bolt, Wasteland, a Daze, and a Stifle, but did not line up well against our very land-heavy hand so far. But, like, they could always just draw a bunch of counterspells. Like, I played against Andre Yamaguchi in the LPL, and he brainstormed into 3 counterspells in almost his exact situation. He, like, drew a brainstorm for turn, cast it, suddenly had Force Daze Pierce in hand, and I lost. This might be running 6 now. Yep. I don't know if we know about 2 different Polluted Deltas. No, I think this is the Polluted Delta we knew about, so they have 3 unknowns in hand. Goodness. Right. Let's leave with Brainstorm here. I think that's mostly okay to do. Perfect. So we can put back Thoughtseize Ponder. I'm going to play this first. And then we can Dark Ritual or Dark Ritual here. And then I'm going to dress my opponent. We'll see what they're working with. Could have multiple counterspells. We'll see. They have a Stifle and a Daze. Okay, so if I take the Daze, what happens? I can just still win with Past in Flames, I believe. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to take the Daze here. Cabal Ritual. I kind of thought they drew another Stifle, because that's kind of what their play is represented. I should make sure they take their Stifle before casting Tendrils of Agony. So, I'll do that now. Take Stifle, Dark Ritual, just to be safe. I don't know. I'll cast some more rituals. Doesn't really make a difference, but get Tendrils of Agony, cast it. So our opponent did not really draw the right half of their deck. Luckily for them, we're going to sideboard now, and they'll get to replace the cards that are not the right half cards of their deck with cards that are all right cards. So they're basically only going to have good cards against us. Same way I've said I like to sideboard against Delver. Same thing I did before. I think Dark Petition can be reasonable against Spell Snare, but I don't love it against Stifle or Spell Pierce in Daze. So if I see a bunch of Spell Snares, like in the finals of Grand Prix Atlanta, my opponent had 2 Spell Snares, and I boarded in the Dark Petition. I boarded it out like a Preordain or something. So I also think it's reasonable to just make the swap of -1 empty, or -1 ad nauseam +1 empty. Just let me close my window so you all don't have to listen to traffic. And I thought that was it. I think that's another reasonable swap. The abrupt case might just be more emotional than good. I think being able to destroy Delver Secrets plus destroy lock pieces is why I'm playing them. Like, if they only did one of the two, I don't think they'd be worth it. But it might also just be wrong. Like, it's kind of like a hedge for me against like Null Rod, Cindervines and stuff, but I find that so rarely comes up where I still win the game after doing that, and it can be awkward to cast. That Dark Petition and Passive Flames could just be better, but who knows. Another good hand. Nice that we can get a basic island out and just cast a bunch of cantrips. The main thing this would be bad against would be like turn 1 Stifle your Misty, turn 2 Stifle your Misty, which might be what our opponent has here. That being said, I don't really need to cast anything yet, so hopefully I get a window where they only have 1 mana untap and I can crack both of my fetch lands. They're going to play their Delver. So this tells me that they almost certainly have Stifle. Oh, cool. I drew my basic. Let's cast Preordain. I think it's time to bottom these. I think that 2 cantrips is enough, and we're much more interested in drawing business here. Or more lands or something. I think that casting 5 cantrips this game would be too slow, whereas casting 3 is already going to be a lot, so we'll just go ahead and do that. They're going to Brainstorm response to their Delver trigger, which I think a lot of people criticize this play. I actually think this is a fine play against Storm, especially if you have multiple Delvers or something, or multiple Brainstorms. I think it's almost always the right play. Like, this matchup is a lot harder if you don't have an unflipped Delver of Secrets, or a flipped Delver of Secrets in play. I think that the aspect of a clock is pretty overrated against Storm, but it's better than not having a clock. I think the way I mostly lose is not being able to cast my spells. So interesting. I don't really understand leaving this card in against Storm, but people do it for sure. I think like the logic is it takes a turn off the clock, but I think so often like a creature would have done the same thing or almost anything else. Like, I think the best cards in the match are like Wasteland and obviously Force of Will, and then sideboard cards like Null Rod, Grafdigger's Cage, Cindervines. It's not as good as it seems, but it is good, obviously. Let's cast a Ponder here, because I'm planning to fetch on this turn. Ooh, Dark Ritual, Duress, another land too. Do I want these? I think yes. Might be a Stifle now. No, it's not a Stifle. Interesting. I'll try and fetch again. Another not a Stifle. Okay, well I'm just going to kill this Delver of Secrets. I'm going to get a Bayou because I think black is the more likely bottleneck here. I don't really need to cast multiple Braid spells per turn. Or spells per turn. Yeah, I'm just going to kill this Delver of Secrets. Now they either have to tap out for a threat or not. I'll just have forever to draw, accumulate resources with Passing Flames in hand, which is a good place to be. It's bad if they play Graph Digger's Cage or Null Rod, then I'm kind of wishing I wouldn't have done that, but I think this is fine. They have another Delver. Okay. So, better than having 2 Delvers. I like to throw out a Duress here, I think. See exactly what I'm working against. Ooh, good hand. I'm going to take Force Negation. It's just the best of these cards. They're all situationally the same. Let's go ahead and fetch for a Swamp while I know I can. So do have to keep in mind that my opponent does have a Lightning Bolt. Kind of just looking for another discard spell here to win the game, likely. Depends a lot at what they flip this Delver to. Hopefully not a blue card. Like a Flusterstorm would be the worst. Nope, missed. Okay. Could still be a blue card, though. Could be another Delver that they might leave in their hand. Oh, another Wasteland. That's also good. For sure. Definitely not bad. Alright, cool. Actually, I don't think I was not supposed to cast this Ponder here. I'm going to take this Ponder. I think I was maybe supposed to just go for it off cantrips off my Lions of Diamond. But I'm also not under an enormous amount of pressure. The risk is my opponent drawing multiple more counter spells. There we go. Cool. So we win next turn. I think Infernal Tutor is the best one to draw, in case they surgical us randomly on something. And then I'm just going to Duress them here and take their Forcible. They can't technically cast this Blue Elemental Blast now, but I'm bottlenecked on black mana in this game, so I would hate to lose the game that way. And we should know what card they draw here, if it's a relevant spell. They kind of pause on whether to reveal it or not, which kind of worries me. That would be too next level, though. I don't think someone would really do that. One, two, three, four, five. So here I can hold priority and I can Infernal Tutor for something. Black. Red, I guess. I'm gonna go get a Duress. So assuming that their only card in hand is the Blue Elemental Blast that I know about, and they didn't draw something tricky. They didn't. Okay, so I take the Blue Elemental Blast, flashback Past in Flames. I actually don't quite have enough mana to win here. I didn't really think about how low resource my graveyard was here. Alright, well let's ponder and see what we can get going. I believe I have a land drop left this turn, so got kind of excited to win and played a little loose. There's Cabal Ritual, so that does it. I got a little too excited. I can go get Tendrils of Agony, and this part's easy. I'll just have all copies target them. Sweating a little bit. This is only my second ever Legacy Challenge top 8, so I'm pretty happy about that. These things are really tough, I think. I'm happy I got to record it. So I stick around because there's going to be another match, and it's going to be the first round of top 8, the quarterfinals. Thanks.